Hi, welcome back to Coffee Break. Today we are celebrating Banned Books Week! Yay! Banned Books Week is a week to celebrate books that have been banned and kind of rediscuss whether that was good or not. And it's also a perfect opportunity to discuss censorship. We have a special guest today. This is Rachel.
I am the editor of our blog, Word, and I have also been invited because I am a mother of 4. When I was younger and first heard about Banned Books Week, I was so gung-ho about it because, you know, only fascists ban books, right? But as a parent, my view has rather evolved as I've seen sort of how my children react to various books. And well, let's just say that today, if I were to walk into my children's elementary school library and see something like, oh, say, The Anarchist's Cookbook, or 50 Shades of Grey, or O.J. Simpson's masterpiece, If I Did It, staring at me from a shelf, I would be headed straight down to the administrator's office to have a little talk with them. So, definitely a different place on book banning than I would have been at 10 years ago.
Catherine, working in our editorial department, you have also kind of a unique perspective on, you know, before a book even gets to the point of possibly being censored, is how do we kind of look out for that? And do we look out for that?
Yeah, I mean, we've looked at projects and thought like, ooh, there is no way our target audience is going to let this fly. No. It's a delicate balance because you never want to, I mean, after you acquire a book, you never want to compromise that author's vision. You never want to shy away from a topic that's important just because it might offend people.
Right.
But then again, you know, you also have to keep in mind what's age appropriate. You know, you're saying that this is appropriate for 4 to 7-year-olds. And if this is going to offend, you know, parents and teachers and librarians, and they're not going to buy our books, that's obviously a problem for us. Like, we've gotten in, you know, foreign books that have had some, like, nudity in their illustrations, and we've had to ask them to put clothes on them because we knew that wouldn't fly. But then again, you know, we had a middle grade novel that had the B word, and someone asked us, you know, to take it out, and we didn't, and so they refused to buy the book, but we had to make that call. It varies on book to book, and it's always, you know, kind of depends on the situation, but it's always an important discussion to have.
Yeah. And you talked about, like, the target market, like, that's kind of what we're looking at, and a lot of our problems come from, like, acquiring international books, correct?
Right. The international market is a lot more liberal than the American market. The American market is a lot more conservative by comparison. So, you know, that makes a difference.
Exactly. It's not just the language that has to be translated, it's the culture.
Yeah.
And the culture is very different.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Anna, what's your view as a just typical reader?
Well, I like to read books, so I'd like to not be told not to read books. I do think it's interesting. I think it depends on the reason for banning, because I think there is something to be said for age appropriateness, but I think if you're banning something because you don't want to deal with a hard topic and you want to just brush it under the rug, then it seems like those are the kind of books that are now required reading. And so I think that shows, at least we've come to this point, you know, from history.
Or like, you know, those YA novels that get banned because of, you know, oh, like drug references or sexuality, right? Because teenagers don't go through any of that at all.
And we'd rather them find out about it from not a book. I mean, at least books, like, yeah, they're gonna deal with hard topics. That's why we love them. But at least they usually have a perspective that we can discuss, and it's a conversation starter.
There's so many of the books that get challenged by uptight parents and others. It's just ridiculous that anyone would think that they would be harmful for children. I'm gonna send some love out to Dave Pilkey right now. Captain Underpants should not be on anyone's banned book list. That is good fun right there, and my kids love it. But, you know, we all have things that we would not be comfortable with. Though that line shifts depending on what community you're in, what family you're in, what school, what, you know, it can't be the same for everyone. And I suppose that's part of the problem with banning books, is that you assume it's the same for everyone everywhere.
So if you have any thoughts or comments that you want to share with us about banning books or censorship, please leave them in the comments. We would love to hear from you.
And what's coming up next week?
Next week we're going to be talking about one of our books that just came out, The Right Word, and we're going to open up that topic to discuss narrative nonfiction and, you know, whether that works as a genre and sort of like do's and don'ts, I guess, for that genre. So look forward to that.
Thanks for joining us. See you next week.